Hey, everybody, what's up? It's Tipping the Scales. I'm your girl, Lachey Dawson. What up?
What up? I'm Tania. What's up, tippers?
Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. Ew.
Okay. Who's this chick? See, I like it. You know, I like a little sizzle.
You know, every day is the new day on here, you know, every time. You know, it's either smiling, happy, sleepy, crying. Who knows?
I know. These chicks are like, they got a lot of range of emotion going on. Like, where?
Yeah, so today
Yeah.
you're going to get semi
Okay.
chick.
I'm not. But hey, today, do not go down the wrong route with words to be a good girl. Okay,
Be a
thank
good
you.
girl.
I gotta.
Exactly.
I will. I totally will.
Okay.
So I had a rough weekend.
Damn.
I figure I'd kick off with that. It was a bad weekend. So
Yeah, sorry about that.
thank you. So hung out with some friends, went out to dinner to celebrate friend's birthday on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then that same couple that I was with, like super like just cool, chill, go play cards, like have fun. And Friday, we were over playing cards, and one of my good friends, he had a little shortness of breath. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, bro, like, you good? Because he works out in the gym like every day.
Mm-hmm.
I said, that's not good. You need to go get checked out. Like, no bueno. You know, he's like, I'm okay, I'm okay. And then we got upstairs, we went to sit down and play cards, and I told his wife, I was like, look, something's off. She's like, I know. And we were talking to him about the importance of going to the doctors and being seen. And he thought about it. He's like, all right, I'll make an appointment. So that was Friday night. I couldn't sleep Friday. Saturday morning, first thing, I literally opened my eyes and grabbed my cell phone and reached out to Tareen, his wife. I was like, yo, what's going on with Ben? Like, I'm concerned. I said, please make sure that he goes to the doctors. And she said, you know what? She's like, I watched him all night, and, you know, his breathing was okay, but you're right. We'll figure it out. So remember, this is Saturday. And then she texts me later in the evening. It was like, oh, he's doing better. You know, the breathing seems not to be like belabored or anything. Like, it seems like he has a normal breath. 6 something that next morning, she called me and told me he died that quick. So, you know, I had a tough Sunday and a tough couple of days because it's just crazy to see how I've just been hanging out with this person all week.
Yeah.
I said, please go to the doctors. I even sent the text on Saturday, like, timing is important in matters like these. Like, this could be a blood clot. This could be something with your heart. There was something with with his heart. He fortunately passed away on Sunday morning, and it's just heavy.
And
Like, my heart feels heavy.
What exactly did they say was the
Heart
exact
attack.
cause?
Yeah, I believe a
Cardiac.
heart attack. I know she had cardiac. I think his wife will get an autopsy. Actually, because I'm in New York all week, so I literally came home to see her, and I'm gonna go back because we're back in the office 5 days a week now. So I'm just gonna get up super early in the morning and head back to New York to be in the office so I can be there. But just, but what it made me remember and to really hone in on is life is just so short, like, we're here for a very short period of time. I feel like we're just kind of like passing by, and it also made me think about while we're here that we need to be very intentional about our time. And that you could go a lot of different places here, but I think the core of it is that you ask yourself, like, are you making the best use of your time? Are you spending your time with the right people? Are you giving your time to a job that deserves it? Are you spending your time doing things that you love to do? Because tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. And I think we just need to be mindful about every single thing we do and take it very seriously. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't like what I'm feeling right now, but definitely a little heavy, to be honest.
So sorry about that
A little sad, but just trying to be there for my friend,
for your friend.
losing her
Yeah,
husband. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. She's been with him for over 35 years. So it's been her whole adult life with this man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Hard.
Mhm. But let me ask you this. Let's start with you. We'll unpack there. Do you feel as though you are doing the right things with your time in all aspects of your life? Remember, look at it holistically because it's not just it's not a singular thing, like it's all encompassing, all the things that we do.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you are in this right space in all the areas of your life that you're spending your time wisely and meaningfully?
You know what, T? Honestly, yes. Um,
It's
my
good.
life is beautiful.
Oh, love to hear that.
It is I just always thank God every day for
Yeah,
the discernment and for the heart that he's given me, which
that's awesome.
allows me to have a great life because
Mm,
most of my relationships are so meaningful. They're
I
so
love that.
beautiful, they're so deep, they're
Mhm,
so good,
mhm,
and for some reason, God just instilled in me, like, just the heart for everybody. I don't know how to say that, but, like, I haven't met someone that I haven't met a stranger in my life, and, um, I do often reflect on, could I be doing more? And that's
mm.
where I'm at in my life is,
More in
like,
what sense?
more because I have the heart I have
Mhm,
and because I have the calling to serve. I have the calling to always be available. And
mhm,
when I'm serving and available to others, I'm fulfilled.
I love
And
that.
I will say sometimes at work when when I'm when my alignment shifts, I do get a little bit off. Like and I
Mm,
do start having those those taps on the shoulder like, "Shay, you're not going in the right direction." Like I have those
mhm,
moments where my life or my intuition is saying, "You're going in the wrong direction, you're wanting the
mhm,
wrong things." You know, you're
mhm.
losing sight of why you're here.
Yeah,
And, if I continue to listen to that little tap and that little, compass,
mhm,
I'm gonna be fulfilled all the time no matter what. Whether
good.
I live in an apartment, I do wanna live in a house, I do want a lot of things, but I
Mhm,
constantly remind myself how beautiful and how rich I am because of the intentionality in which I live.
yeah,
And so I don't need a lot. I want things, but I don't need things. So I would say yes.
okay, okay,
What about you?
okay. Let's
Or you
well,
wanna unpack mine first?
yeah. Hell yeah. Like you said a lot. You're like, what you slow down, boo. Um, well, you said something that I think it's important. And I think it's helpful for others to understand. And sometimes knowing thyself doesn't come very easily to people,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And you said something that I think it's worth taking a deeper dive. So you said that you know when your alignment is off,
I
that you
do.
get that tap on the shoulder, that's your indication, your compass to say you need to kind of move in a different direction. So, talk to us what that feels like, because I don't know if everyone has that discernment within themselves
Okay.
or if they're getting that tap. So, how do you know when your alignment is off and what does that tap on his shoulder like? What is that like? Walk us through that process.
Mhm. So let's say if, you know, for instance, there's a project and say a big brand, comes in to play, big money, we're gonna get these certain amount of people to do this thing. So they're gonna
Mhm.
give us X and in return we're gonna give them this.
Yeah.
if I don't share how I feel in the
Mhm.
moment about how we're gonna get to deliver what's expected of us,
Yeah.
and let's say I'm too afraid. Let's say this, for example, let's say there's a lot of big hitters on this project, a lot of people I respect, a lot of people who have status,
Yeah.
and they're all talking, and if I stay silent and if I let things persist how they persist, just for example, I won't be able to sleep at night knowing that I stayed silent and I didn't share how we should approach something or how we should execute something due to said people, right? And so every time we're
Mm.
doing a project or every time we're doing something with athletes, depending on where people are from, I need to do
Mhm.
the background and the research on who these people are so they can be served properly from
Yeah.
the time that
Doing
we
your
reach
due
out to
diligence.
them
Yeah.
and to the time that they leave us.
Mhm.
So if there's someone, let's say, just over talking or just overdoing it because, it's a very high respectable thing, to execute X, I still have to say my piece. So if I hold back, mistakes are going to be made and then I'm going to not feel good. I'm not going to we're not going to deliver on what we need to deliver. And sometimes when you have gifts or when you know something, it's innate, you have to say it, you have to share it
So it's a
because you're not.
strong feeling that you get
Yeah, it's
that
like
or it keeps you up from sleeping at night, like, it's
it's like
almost
in
like
the
a
gut.
wake-up call. Get a
Mine is
gut.
in my gut. So let's
Sure.
say someone's talking to you and let's
Yeah.
say they're saying things that are great. They're great. Your soul and your eyes and everything, your body language will match the energy in which you see. And
Good.
if it's
Okay.
the opposite, you'll start to lose your breath. You'll start to feel a knot in your stomach. You'll start to feel
Yeah.
tension in your shoulders because you realize what they're speaking
Yeah.
to you, what they're saying to you is not in alignment with you. So it's
Good.
almost like listening to your body, seeing what your body's doing. If you get more excited, more relaxed, then you know you're heading in the right direction. If
Great.
you
So what I
retreat,
hear you yep,
yeah,
go
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's good. Thank you for explaining that and giving us a very specific example. I think examples are always, super helpful.
Hmm.
I think what I'm hearing you say is like, "Look, my kinda like I do a gut check, right? Like my inner voice starts within my gut. Listen, little health tip. They always say that your health starts within your gut. So Shay's her intuition, everything comes from the gut. So I think that's a good place for it to start. And I'm glad that you realize and understand to listen to it because basically that's your inner voice. And we talked about inner voice before. And if you haven't listened, shame, 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 shame. Go check out our library content. And we got a lot of stuff out there where we get your podcasts. And, go check out our library and check out some of our prior episodes. They're awesome. But what you're saying is that when something is off, your gut is speaking to you, and
Yeah.
that inner voice is directing you and guiding you to where you need to be. So I
Hmm.
think, first of all, as tippers, like we got to understand, we got to be able to, wherever it comes from, whether from your gut, your heart, your whatever, you got to be able to listen in and it really understand what's
Hmm.
going on so that you can make the appropriate change. Like there should be something within you that tells you that something is off, right? And I think that's super important. So, but to answer your question, I mean, look, I'm no. Yours was a strong yes. Mine is no. Like I think there are things that I need to do better with. Like if you ask me, like if I'm spending the time to do all the things that I love to do, like no, I think there's a lot more things that I want to do that I just don't have time for. Like my job takes up like majority of my time, and then I'll spend like my little half hour that we spend together every week, and then you know, and then
Hmm.
go into my son games. Like I'm very busy, but I think if I wanted to slow down and do some other things, I would incorporate more like yoga into my practice. I would do more
Hmm.
things around like health and wellness. I would be doing more things that are important to me.
Hmm.
So now is the time, and I think it's perfect. And Shay and I always talk about preparing for what's next. Now the time for me to kind of get recentered and think about like I will literally list all the different buckets of how I'm spending my time. Work, is that giving me the fulfillment that I need? Do I need more? Do I need to like so asking myself those very important questions, am I getting what I need to get from my job? Because face it, people, we spend most of our time in our jobs than we do anything else. Like it's a grind, right? So
Mhm. That's why it has
very
to be
first thing
aligned.
on your list is like asking yourself, are you in the right role? What are you gonna say, Shay?
And I said, "That's why you have to be aligned with the work
Eh,
that you do because you spend most of your time at work." So, if you're not aligned, you're definitely wasting your time. You're definitely out of alignment. You're definitely out of whack, which gets your health out of whack, which gets your relationships out of whack, and
yes.
so on and so on.
And not filling your passion. Not, like if you're not in the right, you should be passionate about the work that you do. And it should bring you fulfillment. It should bring you joy. Like, look, that doesn't mean like every day is going to be cotton candy and roses. Like, no,
Right.
it doesn't mean that. You're going to have some challenging days and at work and especially every aspect of your life.
Mhm.
But you should have way more good days than bad days. You should be doing something that fuels you, that motivates you, that you're passionate about.
Mhm.
And if you're not passionate about it and this is not something that excites you, then you need to kind of ask yourself some questions that, if you're in the right role and if you're not, like, what's the strategy on everything? Never do anything so abrupt. Like, that's just how I am. I think you need to
Yeah, I'm the same
have a
way.
strategy around things that what you're doing. So I think then that's the time to start planning to figure out what's your next step. So I think that's kind of like step number one. Like, do you feel fueled by the work that you do?
Yeah.
Another thing is, and I know this is what you talked about a lot, just because you're a people person, you're a people pleaser. That's where you get your joy. That's how you feel. That's what fills you up. That's what fills up your cup
Mhm.
is the love that you give to other people. So my next question, Tipper, is to ask yourself is, do you have the right people in your life? Or do you have the right partner? How many oftentimes do we spend time with people who maybe not for us and we waste very precious years of our lives pouring into someone that we shouldn't,
Yeah.
So, and then how many people sometimes you have in your circle of friends that maybe don't deserve to have that seat at the table because they don't do right by you. I mean, Shay,
Yeah.
you talked about before how you had to do some cleaning up and making sure that you got the right people in your circle.
Been amazing.
It's
Um,
important.
I would say too, I've been spending a lot of time asking, "Who am I?"
Mm.
And really diving into that. Like, overarching, high level, I know who I am.
Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I am an extreme, extreme connector,
Yes.
lover.
Yes.
I am a deep thinker. I am an
Mhm.
extreme empath.
Mhm.
I am a creative person,
Yes. Very creative.
very creative, and
I
I
have, like,
haven't
0 creative juices, so just so you guys know, like, Shay always, like I'm the person, like, to come up with these topics, but Shay's, like, the visual, like, she's, like, helping with our videos, like, that is not me, like, she's helping with posting on Instagram, that's not you guys don't want me posting anything. So she definitely is, like, the creative
and
genius.
lastly, I'm a healer. I'm a healer,
Yeah,
and
I like that.
those are things that I'm good at. That's who I am,
Mhm,
and now I have to bucket those things out even more to get more
mhm.
in alignment with myself. And I felt
Yeah.
myself moving away, as we've shared on this podcast. But my sister really brought that to life. Like,
Mm.
her death really, really, really made me dig deep.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I could tell.
basketball had been so deeply embedded in me that I needed to take a step back and realize, like, basketball is something that I love and something that I do, but it's not who I am.
Yeah.
And I was so ingratiated in it that I lost time with my family and the
Mhm,
precious moments because I was always trying to, well, I guess I wasn't chasing anything at the time, but sometimes when you get excited about something and it's successful, you wanna
mhm.
stay in that success. But
Yeah.
now I know sometimes it's good to build something and move on and let other people benefit from it, and
Mhm.
to not once you build something, move on, build another thing and another continue to create,
Uh-huh.
continue to evolve, and so that's where I
Continue
have to ask myself,
to
"Who am I?"
evolve.
Yeah,
Yes.
"Who am I?"
Yeah. Okay. So a couple things you said that I feel like we need to talk about,
Okay,
but that let's don't let me forget to come back about the importance of evolving, right?
okay,
Because as you evolve, how you spend your time will change.
yeah,
And it's not going to be the same way all the time.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's not like a one size fits all, and that shit never fits anyway. It's like, yeah, okay, like I
What?
got to squeeze all that booty in
That
that.
shit
Like,
never fits
no,
in.
it's not me. But let's go back to that though. But one thing that you didn't say, I think it's important that I've seen in you since, because I think, you know, when you lost your sister, of course, that was like the first time someone so close
Mhm,
had impacted your
mhm,
world,
mhm,
right? And as your friend, as your sister from another mister, I was able to see that and that hurt just to see the pain in you. But I think as I take a step back and I can see you evolve, you have become way more, I don't know what's the right words, playful,
uh-huh,
a little bit more carefree,
uh-huh,
a little bit more just light. Like
mhm,
I see it in you.
mhm,
Like
I
even when I
feel it.
see like your cute little videos on Instagram, like you've become I don't know what you did, but you're lighter. And
Practice self.
I could just feel like you're just there's there's a deeper connection with oneself
Yeah,
with you.
yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I'm at,
Yeah.
is
I can tell. Look,
yeah.
you know all about my boo,
I know
okay?
you do too.
Yes, she do. Yes, she
I know,
does.
and it's so funny too that you say that, it's like and that's the grief journey is like, what now?
Yeah.
Now that this has happened,
Mhm.
what do you do? Where do you go? How do you
Yeah.
use these emotions? How do you use this energy? It's flowing through me. It's something I see, I think about every day. And I know similar, you have, we share now someone, a sibling
Yeah.
transitioning,
Yeah. It's not
and it
easy.
never leaves you.
No,
It's
ever
literally
within
there
you.
every day, and something or someone will remind you of that.
Mhm.
And so switching that switch and saying, when I think about my sister, when something, she's right. Like accountability. Like it's just making me realize life means so much more than what I was putting emphasis
Mm.
on. I was
Yes.
still fulfilled by certain things that I did in work,
Yes.
but I was like emphasizing just that. And it's like you said, sometimes the shit doesn't fit.
Mhm.
So like when it doesn't fit, let it go.
Yeah.
It's not fitting anymore, Shay. It's not the same feeling that you used
Rip
to.
it up and do something else. It's
Do
okay.
something else.
Reset.
You have many skills. You're many things. You're not that
Yeah.
one thing.
Nah. You better preach, little sister. Yeah, like you're don't be afraid to rip it up and start again,
Oh my God. That.
right?
Just sit with that right there.
Yeah. Rip that shit up
Doesn't matter
and
how
start
many
anew.
years you've been in the industry. Doesn't matter how many years you've been doing a sport or dancing or whatever. If it doesn't fit anymore,
Move on.
move on. And maybe it'll come back in a different way. You'll
Mhm.
be a different person. You'll be able to receive it differently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And and that goes back to the point when we talk about evolving, right? Like that is not being afraid of change.
Mhm.
Be willing to embrace it because
Mhm.
change is different. It's very difficult sometimes.
It is very
And
difficult.
sometimes the mere thought of starting all over again is scary, very scary.
If your
And
ego's intact.
right, or sometimes it's the fear of the unknown for those of us who
Depending
let
on what
anxiety.
depending on where you are when you're trying to start over, you have to be
Mhm.
very careful of your ego.
Yeah.
That's one thing you have to get in check.
I don't
Keep
have
going.
one. I don't have an ego.
Okay. Keep going.
What ego. What are you saying?
Mm.
I don't have that.
It's another
That's
topic
another
one day.
topic for another time. T and
Ego.
her unrealistic,
Not yours
T
specifically,
is
but just
denial about
ego
her
in
ego.
general.
What you talking about, T?
What you talking about?
Um, but no, I just think, like, on a serious note, is that we have to embrace the evolution of our lives because
Mhm.
we get so stuck
Mm.
in the day to day things that we
Come
do.
on.
It's like, how do we get unsticky?
Mhm.
How do we break free so we can go to the direction that we need to go? And I think that's the struggle sometimes is that we get stuck and
Yeah,
trying to figure out how to get unstuck sometimes is very difficult and
it is.
really takes some deep self work. And look, sometimes
That
we put all that time into our jobs, all that time into other things, but we need to do a better job of pouring into ourselves.
yes.
I think that's important because if you're not pouring into yourself, there's no way you're going to get unstuck. You're going to keep doing that same like a little hamster. You're going to keep staying on that little hamster wheel, going around and around and around,
Yes,
and you're not going to stop. And that's a problem.
it is, and you have to reconnect with where it all started.
Mm,
So,
yeah,
understanding how you got to the way you are,
mm, mhm,
understanding things that have hurt you and why it hurt you, and what are
mm,
the modalities and what are the ways that you're going to get through those emotions. I can't say get over it, get through
yeah,
those emotions when you feel them. You
yeah.
have
And
to
what are the
find
coachable moments from those moments?
right.
Like, what did you learn
What did you
from
learn?
that? Hmm.
But you have to find books. You have to find podcasts. You have to find people who feel like light. You have to literally search out all of the things that calm your
Hmm.
nervous system.
And
Lots of the things and the lots of the problems that we have today, we don't pay enough attention to our organism. Everything is
hmm.
connected in this entire world. Everything. Doesn't matter how separate everybody wants to be. Everything is connected.
Yeah.
So, taking walks, breathing fresh air, finding ways to calm your nervous system is very, very important because every time something happens to you, your biology changes.
Hmm.
Every single time, your hippocampus, every single time it enlarges or it shrinks. Every
Hmm.
single time. So everything is connected to your organism, your body, your teeth,
Yeah.
what you eat, your nourishment, your sleep.
Everything.
Everything is connected. So if you're out of alignment, all of that stuff is going to be out of whack. And that's why you see me in a different way because I finally found a way to calm my nervous system.
Just I don't know, like, what's the right word for you? Like, I just feel like you are just I don't know,
It's
you even seem
it's
happier now.
it's almost like it's a cleanse. It's like a I was had blockages and I,
Mm.
meditated through it and it's and at
You
first
gave yourself
meditation was so difficult.
like a colonic. Yeah, like a cleansing.
Mental clock.
See, what the hell?
It was really it
Please.
really so I also when I was doing my yoga teacher training, learning about the yamas and niyamas,
Mhm,
right? Like doing less harm. Even that one idea
mhm.
really changed my life.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
can I do the least amount of harm to animals, to myself, to the person I live with, to the
To this
mother who
earth?
raised me, to
Yeah,
to the earth?
yeah.
Then I could start to move and go down the line. Even when people fuck with me. You didn't know I was gonna say that.
No, it's just
And I wasn't going to, but I'm like,
my
no, it's
poor
our
microphone
podcast.
just got sprayed, like, I'm sorry.
Right? It's like the human reaction is to immediately attack or have a vendetta. Not
Mhm.
me. Mine is to say, "Oh, okay. I see you."
Yeah,
And then I make plans to remove myself from your path
yeah.
and
It's
do
time for me
something
to
else because I know karma because
yeah.
of what I'm practicing, what I'm reading. I don't need to do anything to you because you're going to do it to the right person who's not as healed, who's not going through this journey. and
Who
you're
may
gonna
not
learn
be
it
as
and
forgiving.
you're gonna learn your lesson because it's not gonna be through me because that's just not
No.
what I'm giving. So
Yeah, that's not who you are.
anyway, I'm kind of going off in a tangent, but everything is connected
It
and
is.
learning how to self-soothe. And that's what I
Mhm.
think that's the yoga class I'm gonna try and start to figure out how to teach. Self-soothing, um, because self-regulating, teaching
Mhm.
people different things how to get back to themselves because we constantly lose ourselves within people,
Finding your
within our
center. That's
phones,
what that's
within
about.
yes,
That's what we talk about in yoga is like finding your center.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Well, look, thank you for shedding a little bit of that Shay goodness today.
that laugh was hilarious.
Listen, I know, like, you fuck with me, watch out. That's what basically Shay said, but in a very strategic way. But anyway, listen, tippers, I want you to take a cleansing breath, right? So you go inhale, exhale. And then I want you to
Do
really
that for me.
think about, are you making the best use of your time? Are you being intentional about the things that you want out of this life that you have here? Like, those are the things that you need to ask yourself. And if not, then what do you need to do? Like, what have you learned? Like, it's time to reset. It's time to get unstuck. It's time to evolve. So, thank you for being with us. Thank you for listening to Tipping the
Yes,
Scales.
and if you need
And
help, let us know.
yeah, hit us up. We always want to be hit up, like at Tipping the Scales, at LaShayla, at Tania L. Rivers.
Anthony L.
Like,
Rivers.
hit us up on the gram. Slip me a DM.
I
Yes.
haven't seen a new rating in a while on,
Oh, come on, tippers.
our podcast, app. So,
Okay.
like, Apple Podcast or
Yeah.
Spotify, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. Let T and
Yeah.
I know, like, what's up?
Yeah. We want to hear from you. Thank you, tippers. We appreciate you. Please remember to continue to follow Tipping the Scales wherever you get your podcasts. Bye.